If you have trouble reaching high notes or successfully shifting up high, it could be due to one of two things that I'm going to talk about today, and hopefully it'll help you to solve it. So if you are having a hard time reaching up into high positions, it could be that your hand is constricted in the thumb to the first finger spread. Most people can make an L, and it's pretty much a right angle. So check yourself for that. If you stop here and you're unable, like your thumb is almost in the middle of your palm, and you can't drop it down by releasing this muscle, then you've got constriction in here or body mapping issues or something. And that's going to impede your hand's ability to stretch in the way that it needs to stretch to have the thumb hooked here while also reaching high notes. You see how that stretch is very important. And if your thumb stops here, you're going to have struggle. So that's the first thing. I'll make some suggestions how to work on this, but usually just being aware that that's your blockage is enough for people. The other possibility is that you need a center-mounted chin rest. All my students, I start them on a side mount because that's what I prefer. That's what I relate to. But as they adapt to their instruments and it becomes part of their body, some continue to look natural and some start to look really uncomfortable or like they're playing a viola or like their instrument is too big for them. I am a natural side chin rest person. I'm very comfortable getting around to the higher positions with this chin rest. But one student in particular, I'm just noticing that she cannot shift. She gets hung up on the shoulder of her violin, and her violin looks too big for her. And I had an epiphany. Just the other day, I was like, oh, she needs a center-mounted chin rest, because that would move the impediment so that she can then get around with greater ease. And she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be having a center-mounted chin rest by next lesson. So play around with those concepts. If you constantly get hung up or you miss high notes or you're unable to get those high harmonics on advanced pieces, it could be a constriction in your left hand or that you need a center-mounted chin rest. I don't have a magic solution for the constriction, except that it just so happens when I'm driving, I'm not recommended that you do this because you could cause an accident, but I do it. On my steering wheel, I've always had this habit because it just feels so good. I'll put my thumb on the steering wheel and I'll just stretch that muscle out. Ugh, it just feels good. And therefore, I've got this huge span because I've stretched regularly, habitually. So I have a student who is constricted here, and she's starting to work just manipulating with her hand, and she has made progress. She's increased her span at least half. She's halfway there. She's got a long ways to go still, but it's already helped immensely for her to get around this issue. So if you have that issue, just be creative, and your goal is to increase the span and the stretch of your hand. All right, I hope this helped someone out there. I'll see you next time.